Sakana AI this week launched a pretty bold claim that their new model aggregator Fugu can beat Fable 5's level benchmarks. This might sound familiar if you saw OpenRouter launch a similar kind of product last week with Fusion. This concept of AI orchestration or model aggregation is interesting, so I wanted to test these two models out head to head. In this video, I'll explain what exactly is an AI aggregator and why you might or might not want to use one. We'll put these two models head to head, and then I'll give you my impressions of both. If you're new here, please like and subscribe, and let's jump into this. So we have two systems that both claim they can aggregate models to get better results. Essentially, that's what it boils down to. And so I want to compare both Sakana Fugu and OpenRouter Fusion here. Now, these aren't normal LLMs, and by that I mean they're both orchestration systems for AI. How Fugu works is it is a conductor, and it delegates your tasks out to several different agents. It can actually access all of Claude, OpenAI, and Gemini agents, and it will pick which one is best for the right task, and each of those agents can then go ahead and spin out their own sub-agents, and we'll talk about this in a second. And then all of those agents send their results back to the conductor, which gives you the results. Fusion, on the other hand, does something similar in a very different way. What it actually does is it takes your prompt and it sends it to several models. All of those models give the results to the judge, and the judge fuses their answers, thus Fusion, and reports it back to you. Now, Fusion also claimed to beat Fable 5 benchmarks when it used Fable as one of these models. Because Fable isn't available, the Fusion can't use it, and so the results aren't quite as good, but it still compares itself kick for tat as having better benchmarks than if you just called Opus. So as I mentioned, how do the mechanisms work? Well, one is recursively routing models. It answers directly when that's enough, or it assembles a team of experts down below, all on the server side. Whereas OpenRouter fuses out parallel panels to 3 to 5 models, and then a judge fuses them, as I mentioned above. Fugu is built for long horizon agentic work. Research, code review, cybersecurity, big jobs. Fusion says that it's built for deep research and synthesis, but it's explicitly not a coding or long-run horizon tool, which is important. What it costs: Fugu Ultra's pay-as-you-go. The API cost is $5 in, $30 out for a million context token window, and it also has subscriptions at the $20, $120 range. Whereas Fugu is priced at the sum of every panel, plus the judge, roughly at 4 to 5x single completion. I called both of these APIs within Claude Code, and we'll talk about that in a second. And even though this is in the table, this was actually a lot more complicated than it sounds. I had to go through a few different steps, which we'll talk about in a second. And it's a lot more complicated than calling something like GLM 5.2. If you go into the Sakana AI docs, they have a get started pitch for using Codex, but they don't have one for Claude Code, and I did have to jump through a couple hoops to get this to work. The other thing I want to point out is, right off the bat, is when you might not want an orchestrator. Well, first of all, when the overhead is easy stuff, so for anything that a single model will just do well and do fast, adding this orchestration layer is just going to give you more latency, more tokens, and no extra quality really if it's an easy task. And then the other thing is the pool can be a single point of failure. This pitch around using every different models works well, but what happens when Claude Opus says, hey, you can't use this? Or like with Fusion, which can no longer call on Fable because Fable isn't available, it quickly degrades the quality of the orchestration. And then the final thing is you can't actually see what's going in under the hood. There's limitations to what you can see them doing on the server side, and so you might not fully understand where there are failures to such an orchestration or where it's costing you more money. Some of that is not always clear, and you just get back the results, right? So there's a few reasons why, even though this sounds really good on paper, there are some reasons you may not want to use these tools. And that brings us to another detour. At first, I wanted to use Fugu Ultra. I wanted to do the best model I could. And one thing I hit with several of the first tests, so in the end I decided to roll with it instead of wasting more money. Fugu has a pricing model where below 272,000 tokens, it's about half the price of Fable 5. And then once you get above 272,000 token context window, the prices is almost the same as Fable 5. And that applies whether you're on the API or on the subscription. And they have this built-in like token wall, whereas if you get past that number of input tokens, you quickly hit this request could not be completed error. And this is something that I keep getting hit with. And the reason I wanted to point this out is two things. One is I ended up doing most of the testing with quality Fusion versus standard Fugu rather than Ultra Fugu. And I think this is something a lot of people will run into because the solution is not in the docs, and there is no setting anywhere in the control panel optional to turn off this context wall. And so I actually had to email the support to figure out how to get around this. So for the testing, I decided to, hey, let's leave this out and let's just use standard Fugu, which still has pretty high benchmarks. To give you an idea, they say that, hey, Fugu standard still beats Fable on all of these benchmarks. Fugu Ultra just goes a little bit higher. And what I found with Fugu Ultra, except for, obviously the SWE Bench Pro, obviously Fugu falls short of Fable 5, but in a bunch of benchmarks, it does beat it. So anyways, you can look at these yourself more. But the one thing I found, and the reason that Fugu Ultra very quickly goes over the context window of 272,000 tokens and then fails is because Fugu Ultra spins out a lot of agents, and those agents spin out a lot of sub-agents. This tree gets really big really fast when you use Fugu Ultra, which also increases latency, increases cost. And one thing I found when you compare Fugu Ultra to even Opus 4.8, it costs a lot more and it takes a lot more time. And the reason is because it's spinning out a ton of these sub-agents. Where when I used Fugu Standard, it didn't do this. It didn't actually branch out nearly as much, and it gave me good answers much faster at a much cheaper rate than if I had tried to use Fugu Ultra, right? So anyway, so that's why I found actually the standard Fugu worked out pretty well for my testing purposes. The first thing I wanted to do was deep research. This is one thing they say they're good at when you look at the Fusion site. So I thought, hey, this would be a good test. And you can probably see the spoiler up ahead here, but I asked them to do something fun. I said, hey, we're a collectible market analysis. Let's do a live web search. I want you to research the mid-2026 Pokemon TCG market and write a concise report. I asked them to predict when the market was going to peak, when we're going to go down, and then to pull some specific checkable facts in terms of source date and pricing for PSA 10 Charizards, right? So this way we can actually check, did it get the correct price? And then we can see, is their prediction reasonable for the top? Now, Fugu did a fantastic job. And once again, I had to get the web search wired correctly. When you use OpenRouter, you just put a colon at the end of your API with something like online. There's a very simple appendment you make to the API call that allows it to search the web. But Fugu was a little more complicated, and there's a couple extra steps to get it to search the web, but eventually we figured it out. And it called a bull market of September to December 2026, and then it said a drop of January to April 2027. So if you're a Pokemon collector like myself, you might have noticed some on the shelf, AI is claiming that the peak bull run is going to hit December this year, and then it's downhill from there. And trading cards are cyclical like any other market, if you're aware, which is why I thought this was a fun test to run. We don't need to go over the full report. It's honestly not as detailed as I would have liked, but I still think this was a pretty good job. So the pricing that Fugu got was correct, but I needed a baseline because I wanted to see what would Opus 4.8 do if I just did that. And Fugu Standard came in cheaper than Opus 4.8. When I tried to use Fugu Ultra, the context window got bloated, it took a ton of times, and this report would have been really expensive if I finished the test. So that's just one thing in comparison. Even though Fugu Ultra is calling Opus 4.8 a lot of the time, you end up with a very slow, very expensive result when you use Fugu Ultra. But with Fugu Standard, this was pretty cheap, pretty good report, decently fast compared to Opus 4.8. They called for the same peak bull market. Opus 4.8 actually called it a little bit earlier, and then a similar drop of Q4 to Q1 2027. All three facts answered with sources, same with Fugu. I gave Fusion a 0 on this. The reason why is even when I enforced the web, it failed. We enabled web search in every documented way. And I actually used OpenRouter to call Opus 4.8, and it worked just fine. But when I used it to call Fusion, it failed and came back empty on all 4 attempts. And it actually cost me like $4. And so at that point, I was like, okay, this shouldn't be this hard. OpenRouter is fine. I've used it before. It called Opus 4.8 just fine. It kept costing me money to call Fusion and failing. So I gave this a 0. They said they're good at deep research and it didn't work. So if other people have different results, let me know down in the comments. But that was my experience with it. So moving on, test number 2. I wanted to give both models a hard probability, something that is notoriously easy to fail. And this is a gotcha pity problem. If you've ever played gotcha games, if there's any fans of Wuwa or Hoya or any of those games, Genshin out there, you'll probably be familiar with this concept. But in a gotcha game, you have a base chance of pulling the 5-star, and I gave it 0.6%, for pulls from 1 to 73. And then on pull 74, you get something called soft pity. Your chance rises by 6% per pull until you get to 90 pulls. And at 90 pulls, you have something called hard pity. That means you're guaranteed to get a 5-star if you haven't gotten one yet. However, you have a 50-50 rule. So each 5-star is 50% likely to be the featured banner character, or you might get a different 5-star character. And so I asked the models to test what is the expected number of pulls to attain the featured character, and what is the probability of attaining the featured character within 90 pulls. And there is a correct answer to this. And Fugu standard got both questions perfect, 93.4 pulls with the decimal, and the correct answer for number 2 is 59.4%. It's a trap. It was slow and wordy, but it got everything correct. Fusion fell for the trap on question 2. It has the number of pulls corrected, it rounded up, but it assumed you can only get one 5-star 90 pulls. So it just gave you the bare 50-50, which is not the correct answer. And so 1 out of 2 answers correct, 2.5 out of 5, pretty straight scoring from Claude, and I would definitely agree. So Fusion fell into this trap and failed. Fugu did a great job. To be fair, I only ran these each a couple of times. If I wanted to do this over and over again, there might be some results where Fusion was correct, and then I could take the average and give you a better score out of 5 and say, hey, Fusion gets this 9 out of 10 times. But that's not something I did for the sake of this video, so I just want to be upfront about that. Going back to the Pokemon theme, I said, hey, let's build a 3D Pikachu. This is another job where first time I tried it with Fugu Ultra, it went crazy with the sub-agents. I could tell it was getting very expensive. I said, hey, no, stop. Just use Fugu Standard. And so this is done with Fugu Standard, and it only cost about 41 cents. I did switch from the API to just getting a subscription to Fugu, which is why there's an asterisk on the costs. In the table below, we'll look at all the cost comparison. But the estimation is about 41 cents, whereas Fusion came in at $1, and the Pikachu is honestly not nearly as good, right? So one prompt for both. Fusion was slower than Fugu Standard, and Fusion did a shittier job. The eyes are a little bit wonky. The ears are okay. That's kind of a preference thing, but the tail is also off. The top of the tail touches inside of him. It's not really connected, and there's less detail overall than Fugu. And yes, this isn't a perfect Pikachu, but the eyes are good, the face is good, there's details on the toes, there's details on the back. The only thing wrong with this is this little jittery bit where the tail is not perfectly there. And there is it's not as attached to him as well as maybe I would have liked, but it's pretty good. And I think most people would agree side by side that the Fugu Pikachu is just way better. And so it did this in one shot, instantly reads as Pikachu, black tip ears, round red cheeks, shiny eyes, lightning bolt tail, which are the checkpoints I asked for. And zoom, orbit around is the other thing I asked for. Did everything perfectly, 5 out of 5. Whereas Fusion has an impressive for not a coding system, because they said they're not a coding system, but it's definitely much rougher than Fugu, recognizable, 3.5 out of 5. Pretty straightforward. The other thing is took longer, cost more. So by the numbers, in terms of all the tests, the deep research is kind of an outlier because Fusion just straight out failed with 4 different attempts. I would take this with a grain of salt in terms of here, but for the deep research for Fugu, it cost 82 cents and 291 seconds. The gotcha math, as I mentioned, took a lot longer with Fugu, but it cost less and it did it correctly. Whereas Fusion, even though it was faster, cost more and was incorrect. And then with the 3D Pikachu, same thing. Fusion took longer, cost more, did a worse job. So overall, I was pretty impressed with Fugu Standard, which is why it has a score at a 14.5 out of 15, whereas OpenRouter Fusion disappointed me in quite a few ways, and I would like to give it another chance, but I'm probably going to leave it alone for now. Overall, if I was going to keep using Fugu, I would probably use Fugu Standard over Fugu Ultra. Not only was it easier to set up and use, but it didn't go as crazy with all the agents and sub-agents, which means that you got way less latency and way less cost. Because the truth is, when you compare Fugu Ultra to Opus 4.8 side by side, because we don't have Fable 5 available right now, you usually end up paying a lot more and being a lot slower using Fugu Ultra than just if you'd use Opus 4.8. And the truth is that Fugu Ultra is also calling on Opus 4.8. So maybe 60% of your work was done with Opus 4.8 anyways, and I didn't see any amazing quality improvement to make me want to use that. If you're doing long-run Horizon tasks, if you're doing coding tasks, I would like to compare Fugu Ultra against Fable 5 in the future when Fable is available, and I think we get a much more accurate result of, hey, did we actually beat Fable anywhere? I'm going to predict and say that you're still going to pay more and it's going to take longer because of the way the orchestration works. Even though per token cost it looks cheaper, it's a little bit misleading, and I'm pretty sure Fugu Ultra is still going to cost a lot more than Fable, but there might be areas where you just get better coding out of Fugu Ultra, which is the point of an AI orchestration, and then I could see an argument for it. I will continue to test this because I signed up for a month, and I'm pretty sure in the documents it says if you sign up for a month, you get the second month free before July. So I'll continue to test this. I'm going to run more of my code bases against Fugu Ultra and Fugu Standard and see what it comes up with. So I might do another follow-up video in the future. I'm glad I ran this test because I think we're going to to see more and more of these AI orchestration layers come out, and there are definite reasons to use them or not to use them. I think they should make their way into your workflows, but you need to know when and when not to use them and just not use them blindly. Anyways, let me know what your impressions have been with both of these models down in the comments. Let me know if there's something I missed, and I'll see you again soon with another video.